Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Unorthodox Otaku Guy, and I want to thank you for all your patience with the channel, with the trying to figure out the quality of the audio and video here and there. So bear with me on my backlog as I try to get through all of my old videos and try to keep improving on the new videos. So if some of them are a little shaky here and there, I apologize, and they'll get better. I'm working on it. So stay tuned, check it out. Holy crap, guys, it's finally this moment. So, we are on to... You already know from this episode, you know more than I do just by looking at the name of the title there. But, you know, I'm an Overwatch fan. Alright, I definitely love Overwatch, and we got ourselves the second Figma in the lineup. It's Genji. And oh boy, do I need healing. Alright, so let's get out of here. I've heard some things about this figure, but I didn't dig it on anything about this figure because I wanted to wait until the surprise unboxing for the review. So, you're going to be just as surprised as I am if this is your first time checking out this review or a review of this figure. Thank you for dropping it to mine. And let's not hold anything back. Let's get into it. So, anything on the box worthwhile noting? We don't have any authenticity stickers. It is just the base printed box. Always got to throw that out there if you're looking for authentic to bootlegs, anything like that. We just have the Blizzard logo on the bottom there, but it's not raised, it's not embossed, it's not a sticker or anything like that. This is just a printed box. So this comes straight from Good Smile Company. I order directly from the source. Okay. There was no bonuses for this figure. Alright. Opening up the box. We have a very traditional box for Figma. Nothing has changed on this one, looks like. They always have a really nice, tasteful looking box. I could definitely see where some people might want to collect these and keep them in the box. But I don't do that. Okay, so we look like we have a lot of stuff going on here. Oh, we got something cool for once. I did not know this came with it. Alright, we're going to go straight into Genji himself. We got some serious clamshell going on. Alright, pull the top off. Wow, right off the bat we got this custom hand here. Pull some plastic off. Let's Genji out. Nicely packaged, as always, by Figma. Mad props. Let's pull that plastic off. Plastic off the sheath. They put plastic all in his arms. Oh my god. Yeah, they put so much plastic in him. Holy crap. They definitely like the fresh game when it comes to joints. They're serious about this. My god. Wow. Now I'm expecting almost perfection of looks for him because robot styling is extremely good when it comes to figures. Okay. So, thank you for your patience on that, even though you didn't have to wait because I edited it all out. He had a lot of plastic in his crevices. A lot. And it's a little hard to pull out. So, going on him, I'm not even going to touch anything else in the package yet. This is some sculpt. His details are awesome. He's got great armor all over him. Super high details. It looks like something straight out of the game. I wish this camera could pick it up just a little bit better. You'll definitely get the high-res shots of this type of stuff, so definitely check in for those. Just down to everything on him. He's got really cool neck articulation. He's got that thing kind of like Snake, where he has the where the neck moves, and then he has his head movement. But his head movement is really limited, so he actually kind of relies on that weird neck there. So his head motion is actually a little on the downside. Gotta say, it could be a little better on that. I don't know what they were aiming for on that, but his neck motion is extremely limited. Maybe that was the thing I'm hearing about, but anyways, he's got this like a ponytail thing going on the back of his head. Sorry, I gotta hold him at a better angle. It has a ball joint, so you can pose it. We have his, it looks like a Tanta of some sorts. I wouldn't, or maybe a Wakasashi. I'm not entirely sure the exact model of sword, but we have a cool articulation spot on his back where we can make that sword angled for if he wants to have like a reach around grab point where he's holding onto the blade. And then the same ordeal is going on with his blade on his back there too. So we can maneuver these swords. Now this one actually, see if I can hold on to it while I do it. You can pull this one out, because this is what they do from now on from Figma. I made a mention about this before. It's kind of disappointing, but I can understand why they do it. It's easier on them to do this. They put a plug, so they make it so the sword is in its sheath like that, and it looks like it's sheathed, and it's kind of like a cheat making it do that. Before, they would do the old school method where they had do I have one around? He's holding it. I can't really sheath it, but Kirito was a good example, and Link was a good example, the old Link, where their swords would sheath. It would slide into their sheath, and I thought that was the coolest little extra detail there. It looked awesome. It had a great, like, oh, that's so cool how it worked. But from now on, ever since for like the middle generation of Figma, they went with the plug approach, where the sheath handle plugs into the the hilt and like the handle plugs into the sheath and makes it look like it is sheathed into itself. From a point of view, I can understand why they did that, but it just kind of sucks in terms of realism. Thought it was a cool thing where you can make it so that it's like sliding out of the sheath itself. Is what it is. Anyways, because I actually, you know what, I have a really cool shot of Saber. She has a sword that goes into its sheath, and I thought that was the coolest thing. I have it where she's holding onto her sheath and she's sliding it out of it in a stance, and that's a good example of something you can't do with having this type of setup. So I do have a quip about that. And it's, if you see what I'm talking about, that is exactly why. Anyways, it's not a major con. It's just something of a personal thing that I think that I wish they would go back to. Just a bucket, not a bucket list. Just a wish list type thing from them. All right. Overall sculpting wise, though, holy crap. He's even got booty for days for the people who do want to know and care, because there's a lot of people who know Genji has one of the best booties in Overwatch, which is on, you know, you hear all the complaints about Tracer and Widowmaker and whatnot. Then you got over here and you got Genji rocking this booty, and it's like, damn. Anyways, so we're gonna go down to what is included with him and why is he good. I saw some complaints about articulation, and I don't know what they're for. But I think it was the head, because his arm, he's got some serious open ball joint going on here for this, and that is a really, really good range of motion. I can have his arm touch his other pec on the other side, pretty much like that, because of how much range of motion he has. Like if I want to, I can probably have him even touch, yep, that is realistic as hell. You can have it so you can touch your other shoulder on the other side. Not many figures can do that. So it's definitely not the shoulders. I think that's amazing articulation right there. The head definitely bothers me. Leg motion, we got good range of motion, no real limitations or restrictions. Torso, we have a very, very movable torso. For the back, side to side rotation. That's what I love about Figma. They got that weird torso nailed where you can get that motion rocking around on your spine. Way to go, as always, on that. So, we got great leg motion. We got a great roller on the knee. Wow, that what a bend back. Look at that. And it's so buttery smooth too. And it holds position nicely. We got ankle roll. We have toe roll. This is what a high-end figure should be like. The sculpt is nailed on these weird shoes with like custom cleats, I'd call it. He's got some spikes on the back of them. They're kind of like little like glowy jet things or grippers or something that helps him maybe climb or something. Whatever how his lore works or how he is designed. It's like all the little tiny details, the nuts and bolts. I'm not even kidding. You can see the bolts probably there. You can't, it's probably got some light bloom on there. It's not going to focus, but you'll have high detailed shots. You're going to see all those. It is unreal, the level of detail put onto him. Now, that's where he comes into play of why he's definitely an expensive figure. He has really cool attention to detail type things. This is his custom Shuriken hand, and if you know anything about how Genji works, he's got the retractable Shurikens that come out of his gauntlet, like his hand. They come out, and they have it so nicely sculpted in his hand there. It's a custom little hand that they included. Now we have two blades. We have his, it looks like a, I don't want to get these wrong, it looks like a Tanto, but I believe the Tanto is the short one. Unless it's the Wakizashi. It's either a Tanto or Wakizashi type blade, but it's a short blade compared to the full katana. And he has his dragon blade type katana, which is absolutely beautifully styled. It has the whole jagged teeth effect going down with the green glow, where you know when shit's gonna go down because he's gonna go screaming in Japanese and slaughter the whole team, literally. Those are absolutely wonderfully sculpted. They look fantastic. You got your authentic Figma bag. You always know pretty much you have an authentic figure if you see this. This is the one thing I always point out. Bootlegs do not come with that. They don't even come with a bag. So, always look for your Figma bag. We got instructions, which we don't need, and they're in Japanese. Okay, before we get to the bag, we're going to get to the rest of the stuff in here. Or should we save the best for last? Best for last. Alright, let's knock out this stuff real quick. Wow. Alright, so Genji is kind of like a cyborg. Not quite an android. He's still living. He's been revived in his shell, his exoskeleton that he's got. But he doesn't really show emotion. The one thing is, I kind of wish, I guess they're following the lore, they didn't want to expose it. But there is a point in time where Genji exposes his face mask to Hanzo, showing him that, you know, he is his brother. I kind of wish they would have had some sort of like exposed face or something like that, but then we would know the mystery of who he is, like what his face looks like and whatnot, and they're not showing us that. So we do lose face emotion or anything of the sort. Kind of wish we would have had some glowing eye effect or something like that included, but I think that is what it is type thing ordeal around who this character is. It doesn't have emotion. It's emotionless. So they focused on things besides face emotion. I wish they would have had some better head articulation. We got an amazing set of hands included with him. Now, what I mean by that is, I'm serious. Because we have two clenched fists on the actual Genji itself included. We have the custom Shuriken hand with the shurikens already into the hand. Then we have almost a full rack of hands. Technically it would be a full rack if you include this one. So we have a couple of different really important hands in here. We have open palm, where it's got open hands like such. We have we definitely have two forms of pull hands. Now we have pull hands that are round cupped, and then we have definitely sword hands. Now they're cupped in a long ways, so they're kind of like got room for a rectangular object and not a round object. So we have round and sort of rectangular. So there's room to grab a blade handle. That's really cool because the pull hands do have trouble grabbing the rectangular blade handles. So we have custom hands for those too. And there's definitely two of each. So he can dual wield his swords if you feel ambitious. Two pull hands, you can have either hand. Fantastic that they did not dedicate just the one hand on that. I have seen that happen. So the fact that they have both of each, pull hand and the sword hands, is fantastic. So, two pull hands, two rectangular hands, two open palm hands, two closed fist hands. We have his classic two-finger pose, which is in here. You'll see that right there, where he's like, yo, and custom shuriken hand. Full loaded with hand expressions. Fantastic. Love that. And then we have, of course, the typical Figma stand included with the adapter. Now, I will point out, this is a new custom adapter and a really long pole. Is it just my imagination? I don't think so. I'm going to grab my closest one as usual. Okay. It is the standard traditional stand, but this end piece is definitely new. This adapter, you actually probably see it and recognize it right off the bat. It's twice as long on the lower, and it's twice as long on the tip. So we have a really custom adapter for Genji here. And I think that's probably in the motion of they want to have him flying and intricate, because he's a very airborne character for someone who doesn't fly. He just jumps around like a lunatic. So I think that's just in play with that, where they want to have him hover. Now that we covered everything there on how awesome he is, in great articulation, except his neck. His neck is limited. I don't know why, but that's definitely a case scenario there. We have beautiful armor all over him, great design. So we have two beautifully crafted and painted swords, tons of hand articulation, and now we're not even done yet. We got one other cool little thing here. We have something I kind of wished came with Tracer. Tracer never came with an effect. She came with her pulse bomb and her pistols. That was it. Now, we're getting our wishes come true on Genji. We have this beautiful hand motion where it's got a swipe and then 3 shurikens in a aura-like glow flying forward. And it actually is a hand part. So you can see the hand there. It plugs into where the wrist goes. And then you have these shurikens flying with the green glow, classic Genji. Nicely detailed, and we have this literally a whoosh effect of motion. I'm speechless. We got what we wanted for once. I don't know if like they heard us complaining or something of the sort on the fact that, you know, the figure cost so and so amount of money. You made it that good, but you didn't give us, you know, the final thing that should have been in there. And what was really weird is so you had the Tracer and Android. She came with the effect, but the Figma did not. I thought it was the weirdest thing. You would think the higher end figure would have the effect. I don't understand it, but that's what happened. And now we have this fully loaded Genji minus the head because he's emotionless. I will give it that. But we have this really amazing effect here included. So, we gotta give it a overall consensus. Is he worth the really high price tag? Well, I would say even if you're not a fan of the Overwatch series, this figure is so damn good looking and well enough articulated to have fun with, and what he's included with is definitely worth it. It is high up there, but he's really damn well worth including what he came with, him himself, the little tiny little details, because remember, he has movable parts on him too. When it comes down to his bandana thing, that like the ponytail, he's got the swords, both of them on the back, and they're delicate. They're, be careful not to break those. And then how damn good he looks on top of that. So his negatives, he's got that neck articulation problem. It doesn't have much roll or movement or anything. He really depends on that neck motion piece. It's around here. And, you know, I can't sheath the sword. That's just a personal quip, but I have to put it out there. I kind of wish they would do it. But I understand why they're not doing it. So it's not a huge negative. It's just I wish I could do the whole sliding sheath thing because it makes such cool shots. And then yeah, it's just the face expressions. There's no expressions, there's no alternatives or anything of the sort. It's not a huge major thing, so I'm not majorly demoting it. So the only actual big legitimate problem is one. There's only one, and that's the neck articulation. Definitely some problems there. It could have been done a little better, I think. But everything else is rock solid. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video and determined, and maybe this helped decide what you wanted from this figure, if it was worth picking it up. Now, I will note, if you're in the States, you very much will likely see this in stores. Now, you're probably going to see this at the #1 place I'm going to say it's probably going to be at is Best Buy. You're going to see this at Best Buy, and you're going to see it maybe GameStop, and then you're going to see it at maybe Target. Target mainly likes to do the Nendroids, though. They have gotten a couple Figmas before. They do carry Figma Tracer, I know that. And they have done, I think they did Link before, too. But mainly they do the Nendroids because I think they're cheaper. And they still, I think they sort of have problems selling there. But you'll definitely see that, I think, at Best Buy. And they do sales every now and then. So, my recommendation is, because he's such a high dollar figure, but he's so damn good, wait to see if they pop up at stores, if you're trying to save money on them and you want them but you don't want to blow them out of cash on them. And then try to catch a sale or something, or a clearance. Because even really awesome figures like, you know, Link, Zelda, Tracer, then you got the Nendroids, like, you know, same Link, Tracer, May, Mercy, stuff like that. They can tend to chill for quite a while. They warm up the shelf quite well, and then they end up hitting a sale or something. I'm actually personally waiting on one that's really warming the shelf. I'm trying to get a Nendroid of May on a huge discount, because she's definitely warming shelves everywhere. And because some people just don't want they don't see the value of spending that much on them, and those are only 50. So see if he warms the shelf, and see if you can get him at a good deal. You might get him cheaper. So I hope that really is a good 2 cents on him, because he's definitely a worthwhile figure, but I definitely see some people skeptical on how much he costs. But they definitely went over the top on details for him. He's really damn well made. And then, of course, you have that Blizzard license. He's officially licensed. This is the real deal. This is such a badass figure. So, if you're a fan of the series, Overwatch, you love the figures, and you don't care, just go get it. You're going to love it. It is so badass. And you know what? It's going to go great with an Android if you have Mercy, because he's going to be screaming, I need healing at her all day, every day. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. That is good 2 cents, my recommendation to what to do with the Figma of Genji. He's such a badass character. Well done, Max Factory, Good Smile Company. This was a definitely good job. You do have a couple quips there, but nothing's perfect. So, with that said, I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope this helped you decide if you wanted to get one or wait to get one or anything of the sort. And check out couple of my other videos. Until the next time you see me, don't forget to stay unorthodox.